Okay, the judge gave Puffy's defense team one extra day to prepare their closing arguments, which will come on the 27th instead of today. So closing arguments for Puffy will be tomorrow. He didn't call any witnesses. The prosecution called a little over 30, or exactly 30 witnesses. You may have heard something about some charges being dropped. The judge wanted to be able to streamline the jury instructions, so they did drop some conspiracy to commit arson and kidnapping involving the Kid Cudi car thing and taking so-called some of his assistants and Cassie, kidnapping them. I mean, the more I think about it, I think there's a strong chance he's not guilty, because from how I'm seeing the charges, like if they had included charges of him, I don't know, there's no drug possession charges, there's no like assault, there's not really charges that you could say, well, you know, I don't want to send him to prison for 15 years, but I don't like him and he's a bad person, so let's convict him of this and he'll get a couple years, which is very often what juries do, right? They often have lesser included offenses. It depends on the state, and I don't know what the federal law is. I mean, this is why you need good lawyers, because each state has all type of intricacies, and then of course there's a federal case where there's another set of intricacies. But I think we would all agree, hearing about Diddy's personal behavior, unlikable, but like where was the smoking gun? Where, you know, from the way his houses were raided and the way all this stuff was made to sound, I think people were maybe expecting, like, where's the 14-year-olds, right? Where's the someone being pistol whipped and forced to do something at gunpoint? Like, where's the real clear cut, aha, we got you, you should go do, 20 years in prison for that? To say that him and people that kept coming back to him, like, you can make the case of Cassie and these other women, he was manipulating them and all that. Well, shit, people manipulate each other in regular life. I mean, if we all got sent to prison for, manipulating someone we're in a relationship with, there'd be an awful lot of people in prison. The bottom line is Cassie was with them for years. These other women kept coming back. There's text messages, I want to make you happy. And I could, from a purely legal standpoint, none of that really matters. Just like, for those of you that don't know, you can be convicted of raping your own wife. I mean, no means no. It doesn't matter if you said yes 99 times before, but realistically, a jury, to convict somebody of an SNX crime and send them away. Puffy's in his mid-50s. I mean, I think that the RICO and all that carries a minimum of 15. Fed, you do 12 of it. So, you're going to send this guy away till he's 66 or 67? You're going to make him do 11 or 12 years? Where is there one single really clear-cut smoking gun, like, oh, that's... And then these male escorts up there complaining about, hey, I wish somebody would pay me to ram. Cassie was pretty attractive. I mean, it sounds more like most people's dream job than them being oppressed. And again, seeing Cassie out in that hallway getting stopped and all that, but there's no specific charge of that. That had happened so long ago. Like, if there was a charge of him assault or something, you could find him guilty. But all this, saying that their lifestyle of D-Rugs and NCX is a criminal racketeering conspiracy. I mean, then every crackhead in America should get indicted. I mean, they all do all this same stuff too. It's just less glamorous. What do you think people are doing, when they pick up a drug prostitute? Go watch Soft White Underbelly. These guys, he interviews people that call themselves tricks. Their daily lifestyle is a criminal conspiracy. Oh yeah, I like to go down to Figueroa and get the girl, and then we get something and we smoke in the motel room. What's that? That's what the whole Diddy case was. It's just not as glamorous. It's not in nice hotels. As far as, and it's a regular person is gonna, or not a regular person, anybody is gonna have a hard time saying because the women, Cassie and other women that are the alleged victims, they did this so many times with him over the course of years. Hard to not say, listen, if this had happened twice, Cassie got signed to a record label and 6 months into it, 3 months into it, she bailed because she didn't like what was going on. But you did it for years because you liked the lifestyle. From a purely legal standpoint, I don't know if that makes him not guilty, but that's why he got a jury and not a judge. Because a jury of your peers, quote unquote, can do anything they want. It's called English common law, common sense, right? So whatever the law might say, a group of your fellow citizens can say, well, nah, and we don't, whatever the technically under the law he may be guilty of. If we got to convict him, if we got to call this a racketeering conspiracy, where are the large amounts of D-Rugs? Like when Rick James got sent to California prison, he got like a 6-year term. He had to do like 2 or 3 years. He was buying, I read an interview with him or saw an interview. He said he was buying like a half a brick every other day to smoke. I mean, not just him. He had a house full of course. When you got free crack, I guess there's people that'll hang around. But, and then they were smoking so much, the pizzite got so hot, they would burn the girl with it. So that sounds very crazy, right? That's something like, oh man, we're going to send you to prison for that. You smizzled so much kizane that you got the pizzite hot and you bizerned the gazelle. Come on, Rick. But there's nothing like that in the Puffy thing. The most shocking part was the beginning with the going #1 in Cassie's mouth. But she wasn't tied up. And listen, for those of my fellow Americans who may occasionally look at an adult website, you do not have to be searching for anything too hardcore. Most of what's on those sites gets pretty, you're kind of like, who's watching this, pretty quickly. So apparently a lot of people, well, it's not illegal and people do it. It may be disturbing to some, but again, they were all willing participants, and I don't think that there's a charge in there that you could be like, well, we don't like them, let's make them go do a couple years, which I think probably most juries would do. Most people that heard all this stuff would be like, we don't like you, Puffy, go do 2 years or something. But I don't think there's a charge that is allowing them to do that. I'm not sure. If their only choice is like RICO conspiracy and it carries minimum of 15 years, you going to give them 15 years for stuff that everyone participated in? I don't see it. They should have, and like, okay, they when they raided, they had the GUNs with the serial numbers off. Where are the charges for that? They should have charged him with some smaller crimes if they could have. I'm just saying from the perspective of the prosecution. so that the jury would have something to convict him of. There's no, but yes, he was rich and he had a flunky going and getting D-rugs and they were getting prostitutes and, it's all wild and nasty, but like, that's a RICO? Now, unless the jury, we don't know, all we know what was out in public. Now, there may have been tapes shown to the jury in closed sessions that makes things look a lot more aggressive, like he's a borderline, forcing or something like that. I don't know. Even the thing I kept saying all along, I was like, oh, well, if he blew up Kid Cudi's car, that's pretty bad. Blowing up cars, that's mafia stuff. Well, the car wasn't blown up. I mean, I was repeating what I read, but someone, cracked a window and threw a bottle with some gas in it and damaged it, which is bad, but frankly, I think we all know at least one girl who's smashed out somebody's car windows and punctured her tires. And I remember once growing up, I was probably about 8 or 9, I swear, I don't know if it was the guy did it to the girl or the girl did it to the guy, but somebody at my apartment complex got their car blown up, like the car, boom, I think someone put a lit rag into the gas tank or something. So even that, people bust out each other's window, that's damaged, malicious destruction of property. They should have charged them with that. Should have charged them with something where the jury could be like, okay, we're going to convict you of this, so you get some type of time. But if their only real option is this RICO thing, that the sentencing starts at 15 years, I think he may be found not guilty after all this stuff. They didn't present any evidence that he was putting substances in something and people unwittingly, like with Bill Cosby. I thought the baby oil had something in it. They didn't present that. Where's all the shocking stuff? So I'm going to go out on a limb now. Some of you amateur legal scholars can inform me. What are the least offenses he could be hit with? Is there anything he could get convicted of that would give him a couple of years? Or is it RICO or nothing? If it's RICO or nothing, I'm going to go ahead and predict it's nothing. That's why they didn't present any witnesses. Because it's for the prosecution to prove. Did the prosecution prove someone was behaving in a way he should get 15 years minimum as a racketeering, influence, corrupt organization? I don't think so. So if there's something smaller he can get hit with, they'll hit him with that. But if it's just a RICO or nothing, I say it's nothing. That's my prediction. I think they make their closing arguments tomorrow. So we'll probably get a verdict next week. It probably ain't going to take too long. Al Prophet, America Dope.